Why do I look terrible? Because I've been hiking in a swamp. Why am I hiking in a swamp? Because there's a river next to the swamp. Why am I hiking in a swamp with a river next to it? To get into character. Why am I getting into character? All will become clear soon. Hiya, and welcome back to Kumquat TV Reviews. I'm Josie Pestle with yet another thrilling episode here for you today. Now, the answer to the question why I'm in a swamp, well, it's Outer Banks time, y'all. Alright, so I left the swamp. I'm sorry, I know it would have been fun to represent the show Outer Banks by doing the video next to a river, but I got that typo blood. Them mosquitoes be going after me like Australians going after toilet paper during COVID. Haha, yes, I am the funnies. Back to the topic at hand! Outer Banks is relatively new on Netflix, written by Shannon Burke, Gary Weeks, and Josh and Jonas Pate. Sorry, Pate, not Plate. It has one season out on Netflix currently with a total of 10 episodes. Now, real quick, if you haven't checked out my On My Block review that I did, please do, because I had a revelation yesterday. On My Block and Outer Banks are basically the same show. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Outer Banks is a ripoff of anything, but both shows are friendship shows, and both friend groups have 3 boys and 1 girl, and in both shows the friend groups are searching for buried treasure, and both shows have strong themes of classism worked in because both take place primarily in not-so-good neighborhoods. Oh damn, maybe it is a ripoff. Well, you could see it that way, but I'm gonna choose to say that it's not, partly because, well, Outer Banks takes place next to a river, and On My Block is on dry land, so setting-wise, but mostly for the character dynamics and the comedy, meaning to say that the characters are completely different personality-wise and dynamic-wise between shows. Oh crap, I just realized both shows also add a second girl to the group late in the show. No, stop. Can't think that way. It's not a ripoff. Maybe. But I really want it not to be, because it's a really good show. Back to my points, though. The third big difference between shows the comedy, meaning to say, Outer Banks has none. While On My Block chooses to lighten up and sprinkle in some extremely humorous undertones, Outer Banks goes in a different direction, staying deep and dramatic throughout. Now, if you haven't gotten the gist of the plot of Outer Banks by now, because you haven't seen my On My Block review and don't plan on it because you're lazy, like I said in my second video, I respect you. So just to make things crystal clear, I'm gonna give a clearly defined summary of the show individually. Outer Banks is the story of a quartet of teens navigating life in the Outer Banks of Georgia, when one of them, whose father died in an extremely mysterious way, starts to suspect that there is a legendary treasure hidden somewhere that is linked to his father's disappearance. He enlists the rest of his crew, his 3 best friends, to help him search and uncover the treasure. Now this show, just like On My Block, is very entertaining, but for different reasons. 1, the characters. It's not that the characters are more 3-dimensional than those in On My Block, they're just deeper and very much more down to earth, in a way. You'll end up getting invested in most of the characters, at least the not evil ones. And the arc of every single character is extremely prominent, obvious, and well done. 2, the action. I was debating whether to do action or drama for this part, but I settled on action because even in the most mellow of times in the show, there's a sense of being kept on your toes, as it were, and all the action is thrilling, whether it be in a good or bad way. And coming from someone who doesn't typically enjoy action, that's a compliment. 3, the romance. Now, the reason the romance in the show is so great is because it's a juxtaposition to the fast and dramatic and deep parts by being an anchor of still depth, but mostly a sense of calm, and also somehow being very exciting. It's a part of the show that's not only necessary and sufficient, but well done and lovable. Deep characters, thrilling action, lovable romance, put them together and what do you get? An entertainment rating of 4.7 out of 5 stars. The deep section for the deep show, it about to get deep up in this desk. Now, it's easy to say that this show has diversity and faces issues such as classism, racism, gun control, mental health, abuse, and more. Just because the show faces it doesn't mean it's ethical. I'm gonna go with yes. And yes, in this case, is going to mean a rating of 4.8 out of 5 stars for the morality factor. I'm going to be adding in a new section of the videos from now on. How this show has affected me. Now, I've seen this show only once all the way through, but it's given me memories of binge watching it while my robot vacuum, Mo, cleaned underneath my desk. Say hi, Mo. Say hi. He's shy. I know that doesn't sound like much, but any memory linked to a show that brings you joy or nostalgia is worth something. Always remember that. The show also brought me a new celebrity crush. Or maybe 2. Or maybe 3. In all, I give the show a total rating of 4.75 out of 5 stars. On to the recommendations, though. I recommend this show to anyone who's a fan of teen drama, friend group shows, a little bit of romance, definitely mystery, some serious action, deep scenes, and themes. Ooh, was that long? That felt long. Whatever. It's over now. Catch y'all on the flippity flop, and I'll see you next train wreck.